The $10 million check. Jim Carrey's dad worked in a factory, lost his job, family became homeless, lived in a van. Jim was 15. His dad said, "You're funny, Jim. You could be a star." Jim never forgot. Years later, broke and struggling, Jim writes himself a check for $10 million for his dad, to prove his dad was right. 1995, gets the exact amount. Same year, Dad dies. Jim puts the check in the casket. "You were right, Dad. I just wish you could see it." Toronto, Canada, 1977. Jim Carrey is 15 years old. Family lives in a small house. Percy Carrey, Jim's father, is 51, accountant, safe job, modest but stable income. Family is happy, not rich but not poor, normal, middle-class Canadian family. Percy wanted to be a musician when he was young, played saxophone, loved jazz, but his family said, "Music doesn't pay, be an accountant, be safe." Percy listened, became an accountant, got married, had kids, dream postponed. Then, forgotten. But Percy saw something in his son Jim. Jim was naturally funny. At 5, doing shows for the family. At 10, making the class laugh. At 15, telling jokes like a professional. Natural talent. Comedy was in his soul. Percy told Jim one day, "Jim, you're special. You can do what I couldn't. You can chase your dream." Jim didn't understand then. He was only 15. But Percy knew. His son was different. Everything changed. Percy got laid off. 52 years old. Company downsizing. Not last hired, first fired. Oldest, most expensive. Percy was out. 25 years of service. A thank you letter. That's all. Percy looked for work. Accounting positions, but everywhere the same answer. "Your age is a bit. We're looking for someone younger." At 52, Percy's career was over according to them. Nobody wanted to hire him. Savings ran out. 6 months. Then money gone. Couldn't pay rent. Electricity cut off. Food scarce. Family collapsing. Family evicted from home. Possessions on the street. Tenant rights weren't strong then. Landlord ruthless. Carrey family homeless. Percy had a Volkswagen VW van. Old. Rusted. But running. Family moved into that van. Percy, his wife Kathleen, and 4 kids. Jim one of the oldest. 17 years old. Van small. 6 people don't fit comfortably. Back seats fold down. Everyone lying side by side. Blankets thin. Canadian winter cold. Very cold. Nights, family sleeping in van. In parks. Sometimes Walmart parking lots. Sometimes streets. Police sometimes chasing them away. "You can't stay here. Move along." They move. Different park. Different lot. Different street. Jim lying at night. Can't sleep. Outside below zero. Van windows fogging from their breath. Dad snoring lightly. Not from exhaustion, from stress. Mom crying silently. Siblings curled up trying to sleep. Jim thinking, how did we get here? Dad did everything right. Worked. Was honest. Followed the rules. And this is the result? Living in a van? Daytime. Percy looking for work. 17 years old. Dropped out of school. Has to work. Has to help family. Finds security job at factory. Night shift. 8 hours standing. Floor cleaning. Bathroom cleaning. Humiliating. But money. Jim working nights. Returns to van in morning. Sleeps. Wakes up afternoon. Goes to work again at night. Cycle. This is life. But Jim has something inside. Comedy, still. Even at the factory, making jokes. Other security guards laughing. "Jim, you crack us up. You should be a comedian." Jim thinking, comedian? Does a homeless factory guard become a comedian? Ridiculous. But one night on break, Jim goes to bathroom, looks in mirror. Looks at himself. 17 years old. Tired. Poor. Unhappy. But sees someone in the mirror. Someone funny. Someone talented. Remembers Percy's words. "You're special, Jim. You could be a star." Jim tells himself, maybe Dad's right. 1979. Fall. Family still in van. But Jim makes a decision. Going to try being a comedian. Keeps night job. Needs money. But daytime going to comedy clubs. Open mic nights. Free. Everyone gets 5 minutes stage time. First performance. Jim goes on stage. Hands shaking. Mouth dry. Percy sitting in the back, watching. First time seeing his son on stage. Jim tells joke. First joke, silence. Second joke, few people laugh. Third joke, room laughing. Fourth, room roaring. Fifth, time runs out but Jim can't stop. Energy there, connection there. Percy crying in back, quietly. Watching his son, in stage lights, glowing, natural. Percy thinking, this is it. This is my son. This is what he's supposed to be. Performance ends. Jim comes off stage. Percy hugs him. Jim, you were incredible. You really can do this. Jim laughs but internally thinking, but how do you make money from this? How do you help family? How do you get out of the van? Answer. Slowly, very slowly. Jim regularly going to open mics, starting to make a name. Toronto comedy scene. Natural talent. Small paid gigs coming. $50 for a show. $100. Not enough, but a start. Percy sitting front row at every show, laughing at every joke. After every performance telling everyone, my son's going to be a star. People smile, kind, but thinking inside, old man's a dreamer. His son's good but a star, not sure. Jim is 19, decides needs to go to Los Angeles, Hollywood, real opportunities there. But family has no money. Van's still home. Percy still tired from job searching. Jim tells his mother, I'm going to LA, going to try there. Kathleen cries, Jim, I have no money to give you. How will you go? Jim, hitchhike or cheap bus. I'll find a way. Percy hears the conversation, comes over, sits by Jim, says, Jim, go. Take your chance. I support you. Always have. Go and be a star. Jim, but Dad, I'm leaving you, leaving the family. You're still in the van. Percy, Jim, your success is our success. If you win, we win. Go. Don't be afraid. Jim takes bus to LA, $200 in pocket, one suitcase, and endless hope. Los Angeles, 1982. Jim arrives. Big city. Bright lights. Hollywood sign. Dream. Reality. Dirty streets. Expensive rent. Ruthless competition. Thousands of actors and comedians already there, all chasing the same dream. Jim finds small apartment. $400 a month. With roommates. 3 people in one room, but better than 6 in van. Progress. Goes to comedy clubs. Comedy store. Improv. Laugh Factory. Same story everywhere. You're good, but there's a line. Wait. Waits. Weeks. Months. Finally gets stage time. 5 minutes. Jim performs. Good, but good enough? Club owner. Good, but in LA everyone's good. You're not different yet. Jim thinking, I need to be different. How do I become different? Creates characters, facial expressions, physical comedy, voices. Jim not just telling jokes. Jim transforming, metamorphosing on stage, playing not people, but characters. Club owners noticing. This kid, Jim, he's different, he's special. Jim regularly performing at comedy store.
Small fee, but getting known. Name spreading. But life's still hard.
No money, no car, takes bus everywhere, sometimes walks, hours. LA very spread out. Can't pay apartment rent sometimes. Roommates annoyed. Jim, where's your money? Jim, coming. Show's coming, but show delayed. Jim gets small TV roles. 1 line, 2 lines, in background. Not enough. But a start. Father in Toronto still struggling. Percy finally found small job. Janitor. At school. 55 years old. Worked 25 years as accountant. Now mopping floors. Jim calls Dad every week. Dad, how are you? Percy always same answer. I'm good, Jim. How are you? Are you making it? Jim lies. Yes, Dad. Things are good. Something big coming soon. Truth, Jim about to go bankrupt. Can't pay rent. Can't eat. But can't tell Dad. Because Percy believes in his success. Jim can't break that belief. Jim is 23. 3 years in LA. Still no breakthrough. Roommates moved out. Jim can't pay rent. Evicted. Again. At 17, Toronto van. Now at 23, homeless in LA. But this time alone. No family. Just Jim and his dream. Friend lends him van. Jim, I'm out of town 2 months. Use the van. Jim accepts. Gratefully. Van living back in a van. But this time, different. This time, not choice, necessity. Nights, Jim parks van on Mulholland Drive. Hills. Sees LA City below. Lights, buildings, Hollywood. So close but so far. Every night same ritual. Jim sits in van's back seat. looks at LA, and dreams. Dreams of being successful. Dreams of starring in big movies. Dreams of making millions. Dreams of buying Dad a house. Dreams of the smile on Percy's face. One night, November 1990. Jim sitting in van. Mulholland Drive. LA lights below. Cold night. But Jim not shivering. Inside burning. Anger, hope, desperation, faith, all mixed. Jim finds old checkbook. In his bag. Hasn't used in months. No money in account anyway, but check's there. Pulls out a check. Finds pen, and starts writing. Pay to the order of Jim Carrey. Amount, what should he write? $100,000? Too much? $1 million? Crazy? Then thinks about his father, Percy. Working as janitor. 25 years accountant. Now mopping floors. Dream musician. Reality janitor. Jim tells himself, Dad gave up his dream for me. I won't give up my dream. And not just for myself, for him. To prove Dad was right. Jim writes, $10 million. $10 million. Absurd, ridiculous, impossible. But Jim keeps writing. For acting services rendered. Acting services rendered. As if already happened. As if already earned. Date. Thanksgiving 1995. 5 years from now. Thanksgiving 1995. Specific. Clear. Undeniable. Jim signs the check. Looks at himself in mirror. 28 years old. Living in van. Broke. Writing himself $10 million check. Crazy? Yes, but maybe crazy is necessary. Jim puts check in wallet. Makes promise to himself. I'll carry this every day. I'll remember every day. This isn't just paper. This is promise. To myself. To Dad. To the universe. Small TV roles. Stand-up shows. But no big breakthrough. Check still in wallet. Sees it every day. Getting worn. Folding and unfolding, wearing it out. Ink starting to fade. But Jim doesn't write new one. That check, sacred. That check promise. Goes to auditions. Gets rejected. Too physical. Too much. Too over the top. America likes subtle comedy. You're too loud. Jim returns home. Van. Takes out check. Looks. $10 million. Thanksgiving 1995. Still 4 years left. Time remains. In living color TV show. Jim gets cast. Sketch comedy. Jim creates characters. Fire Marshal Bill. Vera DeMilo. Every week different character. Opportunity to showcase talents. Show becomes hit. People starting to know Jim Carrey. That guy. He's so funny. What's he doing? But money? $25,000 per episode. Good, but not $10 million. Not yet. Film offers coming. Ace Ventura Pet Detective. Low-budget comedy. Fee, $350,000. Jim accepts. First lead role. Film absurd. Crude. Silly. Worst film of the year. But audience loves it. Box office hit. People going to cinema to watch Jim Carrey. Again and again. Alrighty then. Everyone imitating. Jim starting to become star. But still not $10 million. The Mask offer. Bigger budget. Bigger studio. Fee, $540,000. Dumb and Dumber offer comes at same time. Two brothers, absurd road trip comedy. Studio. Jim, we want you, but our budget's limited. Jim talking with manager. What are they offering? Manager. Jim, they're offering $10 million. Jim freezes. What? $10 million. Exactly $10 million. For Dumb and Dumber. Jim sits down, hands shaking, takes out wallet, takes out check, looks. $10,000 million for acting services rendered. Thanksgiving 1995. November 1994. Exactly 1 year before Thanksgiving 1995. Almost on time. Almost exactly as it should be. Cries. In office. In front of manager. Check in hand. $10 million. The amount I wrote. Exact amount. Same. Manager. Jim, what are you talking about? Jim, I wrote this check 5 years ago. To myself. $10 million. And now it's real. Manager doesn't understand. Jim, have you lost your mind? Jim laughs. Cries. Maybe, but it worked. Dumb and Dumber filmed end of 1994. Released 1995. Box office smash. Jim Carrey not just funny guy anymore. Jim Carrey superstar. November 1995. Thanksgiving approaching. Date on check. 5 years finished. Promise fulfilled. Jim flies to Toronto. To see family. To see Percy. Dad, I made it. You were right, I became a star. But something wrong. Percy getting sick. Started months ago. Heart problems. Health bad. But didn't tell Jim. Don't want him to worry. Let him think about career. Jim arrives home, Percy in hospital. Jim runs. Father in bed. Thin, tired, but smiling. Jim, my son, you came. Jim holds his hand. Dad, I made $10 million. You were right. I did it. Percy smiles. I knew, Jim. Always knew. You're special. Dad, I'm bringing you home. Going to buy new house, beautiful house, with garden. You'll rest. You don't have to work anymore. Percy, Jim, I'm already happy. Your success is my success. You're living your dream. I couldn't live mine, but you are. That's enough. Jim crying. Dad, what happened to your dream? Music, saxophone, jazz. You gave it up for me. Percy, no, Jim, I didn't give up for you. I chose, and I chose right. Because you are my greatest success. You are my masterpiece. Jim puts his head on Dad's hand, crying. Dad, I'm sorry. I wish I could have succeeded earlier. I wish I could have gotten you out of the van. I wish, Percy. Jim, timing is perfect. You succeeded exactly when you should. I can see it. You're a star. My son is a star. What more could I want? Late November 1995, Percy leaves hospital for home. Weak, but holding on. Thanksgiving Day. Jim, his mother's siblings, Percy. Van days behind. Now eating in beautiful house. House Jim bought. Percy sitting at table. Looking at family. Especially Jim. Jim, I want to say something. Everyone quiets. Jim, I'm proud. Not just of your success. Of your character. You never gave up. You never changed. You're still the same Jim. Kind-hearted, humble, funny. Money didn't change you. Jim, Dad, Percy. And I know you'll go even higher. But remember, height doesn't matter. What matters is who you are. Jim nods. Can't speak. Tears coming. Dinner ends. Family moves to living room. Percy wants to go to bed. Tired. Jim carries Dad upstairs, lays him in bed, covers him. Percy, Jim, that check still with you? Jim surprised. Which check, Dad? $10 million check. You wrote to yourself. 1990. I know. One day it fell from your wallet. I saw. Didn't ask. But I know. Jim takes out wallet. Takes out check. Old, worn, faded, but still there. Always carried it. Percy takes check. Looks. Smiles. You did it, Jim. You really did it. Check became real. Jim. Because of you, Dad. You believed in me. When nobody believed. Even when we lived in van, you called me a star. Percy gives check back. Keep it, Jim. This is your memory. Power of dreams. And father's belief. Jim kisses check. Puts back in wallet. December 1995. Percy's health worsens. Hospitalized again. Heart can't take it. Doctors doing what they can, but not enough. Jim at hospital every day, by Dad's side. They talk. Memories. Van days. First comedy show. LA struggles. Success. Percy. Jim, I'm at peace. I lived to see you become a star. Now I can go in peace. Jim. Dad, don't go, please. I'm going to do more things, you'll see. Percy. Jim, I already saw. The rest is bonus, but you'll keep doing, even without me, because talent is in you, faith is in you. December 30th, 1995. Percy Carrey dies, 66 years old, his son Jim by his side. Holding his hand. Last breath. Last look. Last smile. Jim sitting there, holding Dad's hand. Not crying. In shock. World stopped. Nurse comes. I'm sorry. He went peacefully. Jim nods, then stands up, slowly. Takes out wallet. Takes out check. That old, worn $10 million check. Puts it in Dad's hand. Dad, this is yours. This was always yours. You gave me this dream. You believed in me. This check became real because you believed. Nurse watching. Doesn't understand, but stays silent. Jim leans down. Kisses Dad's forehead. Thank you, Dad. For everything. For the van. For the faith. For the love. Funeral. Toronto, January 1996. Cold. Snow falling. Family friends gathered. Casket closed. Percy inside. Calm. Peaceful. Jim goes to it. Nobody seeing. Takes out wallet. Check still there, but won't carry it anymore, because check did its job. Check came true. And now, check should go with Dad. Jim opens casket, before final viewing, puts check in Dad's jacket pocket. Signature visible. Jim Carrey, $10 million. Jim whispers, "Go, Dad, in peace. Your dream continues to live with me. But this check should go with you, because this was really your check. You wrote this to me." Faith check. Casket closes. Funeral begins. People talking about Percy. Good man, hard worker, loved his family. Jim speaks. "My dad gave up his dream, but he kept mine alive. He couldn't be a musician, but I could be a comedian because of him. Every person who laughs, every smiling face, that's Dad's legacy. That's Dad's music." Casket buried, check inside, with Percy, forever. Jim Carrey never wrote himself another $10 million check after that day, because he didn't need to. Check had manifested, promise had been kept. But Jim learned something from that check. Check wasn't just paper. Check was faith tool. Check was visualization method. Check was reminder. I deserve this. I believe in this. I will achieve this. Years later, in an interview, someone asked, "Jim, that $10 million check story, is it real?" Jim, "Yes, real. Wrote it in 1990. Manifested in 1994. Buried it with Dad in 1995. Do you regret it? Burying the check? It could have been collectible. Worth a fortune." Jim smiled. "No, check is exactly where it should be, because check was never about money. Check was about faith. Dad's faith, my faith, dream we shared." And did the dream come true? Dream came true. But that's not the best part. Best part was Dad seeing it. He told me, "You'll be a star in that van." And I became one. He saw. He knew. He was right. That's worth more than $10 million. What do you recommend to others now? Should they write checks too? Jim thought. Check is symbol. Real power is belief. If you truly believe in something, not just in your head, but in your heart, in your soul, universe finds a way. Maybe through a check, maybe another way. But universe finds it. But most people write checks and nothing happens, because they're only writing on paper. I looked at that check every day, before every audition, after every rejection, every hopeless night. Check reminded me, you're worth $10 million. Not now, but you will be, if you keep going, if you keep believing. And your father? What would he feel? Jim's eyes water. Dad believed from the beginning. When I lived in van, when I was homeless, when I was nothing, he already saw the star. He didn't need the check, but I needed it, because I wasn't as strong as Dad. I needed reminder. Check was my reminder. And now, check is gone. Dad is gone. What's the reminder? Jim smiled. Now reminder is everywhere, in every smiling child, in every laughing adult, in every watching person. They're my $10 million check. They're proof of Dad's legacy. You're 40 years old, maybe 50, maybe 25. Age doesn't matter. What matters? Do you have a dream? Jim Carrey at 28 lived in a van. Homeless, broke, failed. But Jim did something. Wrote a check. Absurd check. Impossible check. $10 million. To himself. People said, crazy, ridiculous, dreamer. But Jim carried it in wallet. 5 years. Every day. Check wore out, faded, tore, but Jim didn't write new one. That check was sacred. And universe answered. Exact amount, exact timing, $10 million. Thanksgiving 1995. Coincidence? Luck? Manifestation? Answer doesn't matter. Result matters. Jim believed. Jim worked. Jim didn't give up. And Jim succeeded. Percy Carrey didn't see the check for a long time, but finally saw. His son became star. He was right. And check, that old piece of paper, buried with Percy, because check was really Percy's check. He wrote it to Jim. Faith check. Now I ask you, what's your check? What's your $10 million? What's your 5-year goal? And most importantly, who's your Percy? Who believes in you? Who says, you'll make it? Maybe your dad, maybe your mom, maybe your spouse. Or maybe nobody. But one person must believe. You. Jim Carrey managed to believe in himself when homeless. Because his dad believed. That faith transferred. That faith pulled. What's your faith? What's your check? Write it. Today, now. A check. To yourself. Impossible amount. 5 years from now date. Carry it. Every day. Look. Remember. Believe. Maybe it manifests. Maybe it doesn't. But one thing's certain. If you don't write it, it will never manifest. Jim wrote. Jim believed. Jim succeeded. Now your turn.